In more news tonight, flag bearer hopeful of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, says he is satisfied with the vetting process as the party prepares for its upcoming presidential primaries. Speaking to reporters shortly after his vetting, Dr. Bawumia expressed confidence in the process and revealed that he will soon hit the campaign trail, all in a bid to secure victory in the party's primaries scheduled for January 2026.
Let me just take this opportunity to thank all of you for being here. As you know, I have just been in front of our vetting committee and we have had very fruitful discussions. They've asked many questions and I have answered those questions. So I'm very satisfied with my vetting and I pray that everything is okay. I hope the committee is just as satisfied as I am. I think they will be. But I am very thankful to all of you for making the time to wait for us. I want to thank the rank and file of the party. And I think from vetting, we are entering the country to campaign. We are not taking anything for granted. We have to campaign very hard, sell our ideas, and sell the MPP so that we can secure this nomination and then proceed for the 2028 election. I want to thank all of you very, very much.
Well, so we're staying in the camp of the NPP because the vetting process has officially begun for presidential aspirants for the leadership role or the flag bearership position of the party. Former Vice President, like you heard, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and former Member of Parliament Kennedy Ejapong went through the vetting earlier today at the party's headquarters. So let's find out what exactly transpired when they met the vetting committee.
Today marks day one for the vetting of presidential aspirants vying for the New Patriotic Party's flag bearer position for the 2028 general elections. Currently, 5 persons have officially picked up nomination forms expressing their willingness to lead the party in the next 4 years. Each bearing a unique set of skills they hope to bring to full fruition if given the nod. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, former Vice President under former President Kufuor's administration, brings on board extensive experience in economic policy and digital transformation. For him, this may likely be his second attempt at the presidency under the MPP after suffering a defeat in the 2024 general elections. Also vying for the position is Kennedy Ejapong, former Tamale Central MP and businessman with a strong populist appeal. Known for his fiery commentary and outspoken nature, he is confident this time of leading the party after securing about 37% of delegate votes in the 2023 presidential primary campaign. Vying for the third time, however, is former MPP General Secretary Engineer Kwabena Ejapong. With over 3 decades of experience in party politics, he believes it's time for the crack of a new dawn, dimension and direction in Ghana's political landscape. Among the aspirants, 2 notable candidates, Dr. Brian Champon and Dr. Yawose Educhum, are first-time presidential aspirants. They, however, have experience with parliamentary election vetting, having previously been vetted and elected as MPs. Dr. Brian Champon is a former Minister for Food and Agriculture and MP for Abetifi, known for his entrepreneurial ventures, including Rock City Hotel. And Dr. Yawose Educhum is MP for Bosomtwe and former Education Minister who seeks to bring on board a vision to transform the educational system beyond infrastructure to curriculum reform and technology integration. Over the next few days, the vetting committee will assess the candidates' political vision, leadership credentials, and strategies to unite the party. If cleared, they will proceed to ballot for the MPP's flag bearership contest scheduled for January 31, 2026. Generally, aspirants often make it through the vetting process except for the case of Nkrabea Ifadate, who in 2007 was disqualified by the party after vetting. Ahead of the primaries, aspirants will be allowed to petition the committee with any issues between September 30 and October 3, 2025. Announcement and publication of qualified aspirants will be done on October 8, 2025, and the balloting of positions will be done on October 10. All in all, The vetting process is expected to be rigorous, with the committee scrutinizing the candidates' qualifications, integrity, and suitability for the presidency. Judith Brown, TV3 News.
Meanwhile, the new patriotic party NPP has intensified calls urging government to stop using the police service to intimidate members of the opposition party. During a Suro Ahunahuna demonstration, the party recounted a number of arrests targeting opposition members. Stanley Niblew joined party supporters on the protest.
Supporters of the opposition New Patriotic Party converged on the brass spots at the Kwame Nkrumah interchange area, dubbed Suro Ahunahuna protest, to wit, "We are not scared of intimidation," was to speak to power and draw the government's attention to what they described as constant harassment using the police service. The arrest of the party's Bono regional chairman, Abronye DC, the Ashanti regional chairman, Kwabena Ntwibosiako Elias Chairman Wuntumi, Okatechie Kwame Efrifa, Fanti Comedy, and a host of others were among reasons for the protest. The leadership of the protesters says the use of the Black Maria in conveying suspects and not criminals must end. Former Lejokuku legislator Dr. Bernard Okoboy believes in proper handling of suspects.
Now, if they take me to Yoko and I meet the Yoko boss, is a Yoko boss a neutral person? I'm asking you. He's a political appointee. He is not sympathizer of the NDC. If he's the one who determines my fate, don't you see a bias there? That's why I said to avoid biases, discriminate treatment, take us to what? Court. Anyone who doesn't speak well, anyone who doesn't write well, they don't deserve handcuffs. Send them to a judge. Even going before a judge, is it not enough punishment?
Former University of Ghana TESCON president admitted that the NPP, when in power, used the police in a similar fashion, a situation he said the party has learned the hard way.
Though the MPP was arresting people, but they used the right procedure to arrest people. And you can't tell someone that you want to investigate the person, and at the end of the day, you go and arrest the person in a Rambo style, breaking his doors and all that.
Other protesters urged for a paradigm shift in the manner arrests are made.
The ultimate responsibility of security, of securing this country, rests in the president. And we are telling him that he should call his people to order.
With a tight security schedule, the protesters marched through the Ring Road Central and connected the Ring Road East at Sankara Circle to petition the police administration. A fortified barricade of police officers prevented intrusion of some protesters. Eventually, the leadership was granted access to present their petition to the police administration. Their next stop was the Revolutionary Square, opposite the seat of government, where another petition was presented. Mustafa Salam and Henry Nanabuachi made oral submissions once again, detailing their frustrations.
We cannot treat the very young people, the budding, teeming youth of our country in such a disgusting manner. And I know that in your conscience, you know it is not right. That is why we are appealing to you that call your state agencies to order the flagrant abuse of power, selective application of the law, selective injustice is becoming one too many. That endangers the democracy we are all enjoying.
The protesters were attended to by the Chief of Staff at the Office of the Vice President, Alex Segbefia. The protest was largely peaceful, as the chant of Suro Ahunahuna echoed through the capital. The message from the opposition was unmistakable. The NPP insists the rule of law must rise above politics, and until that balance is restored, the streets will continue to be their platform. Stanley Niblew, TV3 News, Accra.
Now, the Electoral Commission has declared Professor Alidu Seidu Mahama as the Member of Parliament for the Tamale Central constituency in accordance with CI 127. Professor Alidu Seidu went unopposed after the close of nomination by the Electoral Commission on Sunday, September 21, after a 10-day extension.
Constituency seat became vacant following the unfortunate demise of late Member of Parliament for the constituency, Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Muhammad, in a military helicopter crash on Wednesday, August 6. The NDC opened nominations for party members to contest in a parliamentary primary. Professor Ali Dusedu was among 11 other aspirants who contested the NDC parliamentary primary. He subsequently won the parliamentary primary after polling 840 votes and was subsequently declared as the party's parliamentary candidate.
By these votes, and going by the simple majority, it is my pleasure to declare Professor Seydou Mahama Alidu as the candidate-elect for the NDC for the parliamentary election in Tamale Central.
Professor Ali Dusedu and the NDC picked and filed nominations after the Electoral Commission opened nominations. The Electoral Commission extended the deadline for picking and filing nominations after 2 individuals who earlier picked nominations to contest the by-election later pulled out. On Sunday, September 21, the extended deadline by the Electoral Commission for filing nomination for Tamale Central by-election ended at 5 p.m. with no one picking nominations to contest Professor Ali Dusedu of the NDC. On Tuesday, September 23, and in accordance with CI 127, the Electoral Commission declared Professor Ali Dusedu Mahama as Member of Parliament-elect for the Tamale Central by-election.
As it stands, it means that only Professor Ali Dusedu Mahama stands nominated. And according to the CI 127, in view of this, I, Muniru Musa, returning officer for the Tamale Central constituency, in working with CI 127, hereby declared Professor Alidu Seydou Mahama as the MP-elect for the Tamale Central constituency.
Some residents have been sharing their expectations of the Member of Parliament-elect.
I would like to also use this opportunity to appeal to the President, as I already mentioned, to consider Professor Alidu in his government so that he will be able to offer the young men and women in the constituency jobs, so that will encourage them to support our party well in coming elections.
He knows that Tamale is a strong hold for NDC, especially this Tamale Central, and we are urging the President to help us through so that Professor Alidu can fulfill his promise that he promised Tamale Central.
I believe those who propose Honorable Professor Alidu, they knew what he has done and what he can do, and they thought that he will be the best person to fill that position. So we believe that, and we trust that Honorable Professor Alidu Seydou will not fail the people of Tamale.
To the Labour front, where the Teachers and Educational Workers Union have embarked on a demonstration following its announcement of a nationwide strike action on September 19, national executives joined a press conference earlier today, urged members from across the country to stay home and pledge to suspend the strike only after all their demands are met. A report by Nura Mohammed.
Convening at University of Ghana, executives and members of the Teachers and Educational Workers Union (TEWU) reiterated the reason behind their strike. Some of the concerns mentioned included promotion delays, poor working conditions, and the renewal of their conditions of service. The national chairperson Salamatu Mahama Brima refuted the National Labour Commission (NLC's) claims to have sent a letter to the union and declared that their strike action is legal.
Until we conclude and sign the conditions of service, we will not come to work. NLC's letter, I will say categorically clear that we haven't received any letter from NLC. And NLC themselves know that we have gone through the rules. It is never illegal We have given you the chronology of the events. So if NLC is writing to us, why are they writing to us?
Leading the demonstration charge was the local chairman of the UG chapter of TEWU, who complained of neglect by the government despite the union's compliance with all the rules of engagement.
Condition of service is a basic document that binds everybody in any institution. So as we are speaking, our condition of service of public universities has expired. And for that matter, we are supposed to meet government to have a negotiation on the issue. We have all whatever means that we have to use to make sure that we meet government has not proven well. We have met several, we have even been forced to go to Labour Commission for almost 5 times. So now what we have gotten to is that there's no way we can continue on with what is happening now. So we have taken a decision that until government meetings look at this issue, we are not going to work. To us, we would not blame fair wages, we blame the Ministry of Finance, because we have a lot of engagement with fair wages. And fair wages themselves, you know, they have not been saying anything about this because they have been fed up, because they have a lot of engagement with them. And where we have gotten to, there's nothing they can do again but to just, the Minister of Finance should do what is needful and let us meet and have the discussion. It's about discussion.
The strike action is expected to continue until the union is satisfied with the government's response, and its members have expressed readiness to see it to its end. Nura Mohammed, TV3 News, Accra.
In a related development, the Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment is urging striking members of the Teachers and Education Workers Union, TEWU, to return to the negotiation table. Dr. Rashid Pelpo says government is making significant progress in addressing the union's concerns and warns that the ongoing industrial action could stall much-needed reforms in the education sector. He spoke to Labour correspondent Daniel Opoku.
They need something concrete, and we are going to do something concrete for them. They want a situation where the difference between the teaching staff and then the workers be narrowed, and they want to make sure the allowances that are supposed to be paid to narrow that gap are also supported. And we are looking at it. But you see, economic decisions are not taken overnight. They are taken within a space of time, because every single decision has a consequence on the total output in the budget. And so before a budget is read, a lot of things are taken into consideration. If they were not taken into consideration and the budget was read, you will have to wait for a period. But in their case, after I had a meeting with the minister, it's virtually discussed and virtually coming to a conclusion about what they want. So I didn't expect them to go on strike now. I expected them to resort back to us for us to take very concrete steps they can show to their leadership, their members, that this is the point we have gotten up to. They will be resolved. It shouldn't be because of strike. I want us to work out in a situation for them to appreciate that we too are concerned about the welfare of the workers. We are a social democratic party. We care about the worker. We will make sure that the worker is safe, sound, and committed to his work, because that defines the nation's progress.
Now, Ghana's housing challenge can no longer wait, as only 5% of the country's population can afford to buy a house without assistance. That's the warning from the Minister of Works, Housing and Water Resources, Kenneth Gilbert J. According to him, government is committed to ensuring that housing is truly affordable. He sounded the alarm at the Media General Thought Leadership Forum.
Affordable housing remains one of Ghana's most pressing socio-economic challenges, affecting millions of citizens and shaping the nation's path to inclusive growth. Despite numerous policy frameworks and interventions, the delivery of truly affordable, sustainable, and accessible housing continues to lag behind the growing demand. Speaking at the forum, Group Chief Operating Officer Nyama Ishen Famia shared his experience of Ghana's housing challenge and emphasized the importance of partnerships like this in driving sustainable solutions.
We are told that rent is cheaper as you move further out of the city. True enough, but then by the time you spend hours in traffic, pay more for transport, and discover that what you saved in rent, you've lost in fuel, in trotro fares, and sometimes in your peace of mind. And indeed, in Accra, traffic is no small luxury. Paradoxes are many, but with partners like these, the opportunities are even greater. Together, we can make affordable housing not just a dream, not just a paradox, but a practical reality.
Chairperson of the Thought Leadership Forum and Deputy Managing Director of the Agricultural Development Bank, Professor Ferdinand Ahiakpo, also highlighted the urgency of offering practical measures to address the housing deficit.
Average Ghanaians will find it very difficult to afford a place to live. So all the policies that we need to do, we need to look at it vis-a-vis the standard of the people. What people can afford. Affordable houses are over 100,000 USD. And you ask yourself, if you take average salary of Ghanaians, even those who are in the working class, are we be able to afford? It means that we need to change the paradigm. I urge that we make the decision so practical.
For his part, Minister for Works, Housing and Water Resources, Kenneth Gilbert Ajay, stressed that the current housing situation requires urgent and collective action, reminding stakeholders that every Ghanaian deserves a safe and decent place to call home.
Our current housing situation requires urgent and collective action. Research shows that only 5% of Ghana's population can afford to buy a house without assistance. 60% need support to access decent housing, while the remaining 35% require additional direct support, such as affordable mortgages and subsidies. As a government, our commitment is clear: to turn these words into meaningful change and build a future where no one is left behind, where every Ghanaian can access the dignity of a safe, secure home.
The forum also explored critical issues such as cost of construction, land acquisition, and resource availability, all key to shaping a practical roadmap for Ghana's housing sector.
I identify 4 things that negatively impact housing. One is the land cost and accessibility. You know, Accra, you can't even get the land. When you get it, you buy it, I think, 2 or 3 times, right? And then cost of the development itself, the materials involved, they are almost all imported. Then the access to finance, and I think the financiers are here, they will tell us. And then the last will be the infrastructure provision.
In more news tonight, U.S. President Donald Trump's claim yesterday that acetaminophen, the active ingredient in Tylenol, a common painkiller also known as paracetamol, causes autism, has received mixed reactions. There's more in the story. Sometimes dealing with autism can look like this.
This is why he can't be in boarding school.
Other times it looks like a steady progress.
Great work, Bobby. Let's take some biscuits.
On Monday, U.S. President Donald Trump stated that acetaminophen, also known as paracetamol and sold under the brand name Tylenol, is causing autism and warned pregnant women to avoid the drug. He says the Food and Drug Administration will update drug labeling to include warnings.
Effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of acetaminophen, which is basically commonly known as Tylenol, during pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good.
Professor of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Professor Titus Bayu, says Donald Trump's claim is not backed by scientific evidence.
It's an overstated statement, let me put it that way, not backed by current scientific evidence. There has been some suspicion that acetaminophen is associated with autism or the autistic spectrum, but there hasn't been enough data to prove a direct causal link. So people should not panic. That's what I would say. It's perhaps the safest pain medication that we have in pregnancy. We have used acetaminophen for a very long time. It doesn't mean it cannot be associated with autism, but the current data has not proven that.
What could be the cause of the seeming surge in people being on the autism spectrum?
If we are getting it more, it's usually as a result of either there is improved diagnosis. The definition of autism has changed. Things that were otherwise not considered as autism can now fall within the spectrum. Is the reason why. In Ghana, if you ask the incidence of autism, people will not be able to tell you because you don't have community or national data.
Professor Bayu further explained that Ghana's Food and Drugs Authority does not have to issue a caution against the use of the drug, urging pregnant women not to panic.
I don't think our Food and Drug Authority will go ahead to issue that kind of caution until there is evidence. Our Food and Drugs Authority is very highly ranked, level 3 maturity level in terms of regulation, and therefore they will do the needful. If there is new data based on the usage over the years that it does cause autism.
Meanwhile, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists disputed a link made by Donald Trump, saying the Tylenol claim is not backed by the full body of scientific evidence and dangerously simplifies the many and complex causes of neurologic challenges in children.
Well, I'm sure many of you are wondering what exactly is happening when it comes to issues of health that we all could be victims of. We'll see what the next few days unfold from scientists and doctors, and we'll update you subsequently. Stay with us. We have business sports coming up.
900 new homes in a bid to address the country's deepening housing deficit. The announcement follows comments by the Minister for Works and Housing, Kenneth Ejay, at Media General's National Thought Leadership Forum on affordable housing. He revealed that more than 11.5 million Ghanaians are unable to afford a home due to low income levels. Ghana continues to grapple with a housing crisis, with estimates suggesting a deficit of nearly 2 million units. Despite interventions by successive governments, the situation remains critical.
Research shows that only 5% of Ghana's population can afford to buy a house without assistance. 60% need support to access decent housing, while the remaining 35% require additional direct support, such as affordable mortgages and subsidies. As a government, our commitment is clear: to turn these words into meaningful change and build a future where no one is left behind.
In response to the growing demand for affordable housing, TDC Ghana Limited is working to deliver close to 1,000 new homes by 2026.
900 of that will be delivered next year. Hopefully, latest by June, all these buildings should be available in the market for Ghanaians. Even now, it's already available, and we started selling them already. People are rushing for it. Yes, it's as we speak.
And you are hoping to price them at how much?
That's what I'm telling you, that we are going for something around 700,000 Ghana cedis.
700,000 for a two-bedroom apartment.
A gated community.
Okay.
You have your water, your light, first-class road. You can come and see first-class road.
The Real Estate Agency Council is also urging the public to verify all property transactions through its office to avoid falling victim to fraud.
If you're entering that space, you do not do unethical stuff, because once you do unethical stuff, the council will come after you. And we want to protect everybody who's coming to Ghana to make sure that this space is a space that we want to protect and make sure that everybody's happy. And it's something that I noticed, that everybody's happy that there's a council, because a lot of people have had issues and they don't know where to go.
These issues form part of discussions at Media General's National Thought Leadership Forum held on Tuesday, under the theme Blueprint to Brick, Making Affordable Housing Work. The high-level event brought together policymakers, financiers, developers, traditional leaders, and innovators, aiming to shift the conversation from policy to practical solutions. They are young, dynamic, and determined. The nation's next generation of leaders came together at the Executives Under 40 Conclave on September 20, united by a single vision, shaping Ghana's future through transformative leadership.
The Executives Under 40 Conclave, hosted by the University of Gold Coast under the theme Leadership for the Nation, was filled with great enthusiasm. The event brought together entrepreneurs, policymakers, and innovators under the age of 40, all united by a single goal: to shape Ghana's future through bold and ethical leadership. Speakers emphasized the urgency of grooming the next generation of decision makers, tackling issues such as governance, entrepreneurship, and the role of technology in driving national development. Participants also shared experiences on resilience, innovation, and building inclusive systems that leave no one behind. Founder and Chancellor of the University, Gideon Titi Ofer, explained the reasoning behind the conclave.
Well, you know, the mission of the University of Gold Coast is to build leaders for the nations. And so that is the main motivation for hosting the Executive Under 40 Conclave. And as you can see, there is a hunger for leadership development in the country, and you saw the young people coming in their numbers to learn from those who have practiced leadership, taught leadership, and at the level of educating people in terms of leadership.
He also shared some thoughts on the educational system of Ghana.
We are creating job seekers instead of job creators. We talk about entrepreneurship, but we don't train people for entrepreneurship. You can go to university for 4 years, and probably the course of an entrepreneurship is just a semester. So we are not committed to developing entrepreneurs. We also have not created an enabling environment for entrepreneurs. I mean, when we create what looked like support for young entrepreneurs, it becomes something for political parties, food soldiers to get, So we have to be very serious about it if you want young people to create jobs, increase incomes, and reduce poverty. We need to be intentional about it.
We'll bring you updates now from the currency and the commodities market. And that'll be all for the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. Thank you for watching. Up next is sports.
Good business means seeing the possibilities and maximizing opportunities. Making sure you have a responsive support system backs your business goals. A partner that gives you a stable platform with reliable connectivity and seamless solutions, and better understands the tools required to take you to the next level. With so many moving parts in running a business, we do our best to provide you with some stability, the only kind of stability you can find.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360 with me, Horeku Ampofo. Ghanaian boxer Ernest Akushe, widely known by his ring name Bahubali, died just after 11 days after his last fight at the Bukom Boxing Arena, sparking renewed concern about safety standards in the sport. The 32-year-old super middleweight boxer faced Jacob Dixon in a highly anticipated contest on September 12th, but was stopped in the 8th round. My colleague Billy Shen visited the family of the deceased and put together this report.
In mid-September, fans at the Bukom Boxing Arena witnessed Ernest Akushe, a man in his early 30s, absorb heavy punishment from Jacob Dixon. It was a one-sided super middleweight contest, with Dixon securing victory via technical knockout in the 8th round. Akushe, known to many as Bahubali, suffered his first professional defeat after winning his opening 6 bouts. But just 2 weeks later, tragedy struck. Bahubali passed away after battling an illness. At his family home in Choko, relatives are in deep mourning as they await autopsy results to determine the exact cause of death.
My son is someone who doesn't show off. Wherever you send him, he will go. He does everything. If people hear of him, they want to be there. When the community heard he was no more than 1,000 people came around the house.
Timo 2 o'clock in Braba Akeshi. Bro, Jeku trim.
Around 2 a.m., Ernest's brother came around screaming to me to come out, saying he was dead. When I came out, I realized that the area was in a mess. They had heard the news. I waited till 4 a.m. and went to the morgue myself. That was when I believed it.
2 o'clock, the
grief extends beyond his household. In Bukom, Choko, and across Ghana's boxing fraternity, the loss of Bahubali has left communities devastated. To many, he was more than a fighter, a jovial soul who brought smiles and hope wherever he went.
We all felt very depressed because Bahubali is a jovial boxer. And we are fans of him, as well as a neighborhood friend. So as we hear say Bahubali has passed away, in fact we got depressed.
The reason why people are saying it's internal bleeding syndrome. You see, in boxing, we all know if a boxer
would be facing Central African Republic on October 8 in Morocco in their penultimate World Cup qualifier game. You can get more updates on our social media handles at 3sportsgh. My name is Horeku Ampofo.
Entertainment.
Well, tonight in this segment, the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Ablaji Fagumashi, has called on theatre practitioners and stakeholders to play a vital role in preserving Ghana's identity, culture and social cohesion through their craft. Speaking at the opening of the National Theatre Festival, the minister emphasized the importance of theatre as a powerful tool for storytelling, education and national development.
Described as a valuable intangible asset for development, theatre has long held relevance in entertainment, education, storytelling and socialization since its inception. To celebrate and empower this art form, the National Theatre of Ghana has launched a 6-day festival aimed at strengthening the production capacity of theatre practitioners in the country. Running from September 23 to 28, held under the theme showcasing the rich diversity of Ghanaian culture through the performing arts. The event will feature a wide range of activities including art exhibitions, masterclasses, a food bazaar, live performances and more. In her address, Minister Ablaji Fagumashi reiterated her call for practitioners to contribute actively to safeguarding Ghana's cultural heritage.
Our mission of preservation must go beyond just showcasing to encompass a conscious, synergistic effort of preservation. Else, we lose our identity, diverse culture, and the social cohesion we so much need for national development. Preservation of our culture must come in the form of performances and the festivals such as this one, and also vigorously presented in the social media space, the very space that is posing a threat to our culture and also well documented for the benefit of future generations.
The Executive Director of the National Theatre, Henry Herbert Malm, also highlighted how the festival's theme aligns with the institution's mission of promoting cultural dialogue and artistic expression.
Together, we will engage each other on how to prosecute the research agenda of His Excellency the President for the growth of our industry and to guarantee its success. Our challenge will be to fashion out a way by which our industry could inculcate technology and balance the dynamism offered by culture for our collective good.
Time now for international news.
Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger have announced that they will immediately withdraw from the International Criminal Court, ICC, labeling it an instrument of neo-colonialist repression. The three military-led countries issued a joint statement saying they would not recognize the authority of the UN-backed court based in The Hague. The ICC has proven itself incapable of handling and prosecuting proven war crimes, crimes against humanity, crimes of genocide and crimes of aggression, the three leaders said. The court has not yet responded to the decision by the three countries.
And that's it for our package this evening. Thank you so much for watching. I am Martin Asiedu-Dati.
And I am Portia Gabodu. Join the agenda team with Beatrice Edu at 9 p.m. as well as 10 p.m. for Ghana Tonight with Alfredo Kansi. Good evening.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait.
Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
The second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Obey him later.
Of course.
Coffee be the luckiest. Coffee from Georgia be luckiest. From not the block, she be luckiest. Yeah, you coffee be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Senya God the apple boom. If you put it was so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Dial star 712 #. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Barman 442.
You dey feel am?
Now 442 liquor they do am. Barman 442.